last Sunday, probably WWE's weirdest show of the year took place, with the horror show at Extreme Rules, an event filled with unorthodox stipulations and some highly anticipated title bouts. So, without further ado, I'm Power Wrestling, and these are my thoughts of the pay-per-view. To start, Kevin Owens took on Murphy in a last-minute addition to the Kickoff, in what was a perfectly good match to get hyped for the show. And to be honest, it made me want to see a bigger rematch between these two. By the way, Kevin won, which really shouldn't shock anyone. The main part of the show began with the New Day defending the tag titles against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura in a pretty good encounter. They worked really well around the tables, constantly teasing someone going through them, making the ending feel unpredictable in a good way. Speaking of which, the final spots looked amazing, and I was surprised to see Cesaro and Nakamura pick up the win. Since WWE is in a shortage of tag teams, I'm going to assume their next opponents will be the Lucha House Party. Coming next, Bayley took on Nikki Cross with the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. They had a very enjoyable encounter, with Nikki having one of her best singles showings since joining the main roster. I wasn't a huge fan of Bayley winning with the boss ring, but it made sense and kinda protected Nikki in defeat, so I didn't mind it too much. Then MVP came out to announce Apollo wasn't cleared to wrestle, so we didn't have that match, which was annoying since I actually wanted to see it. After that, Seth Rollins finally clashed with Rey Mysterio in their eye for an eye match. I really liked the overall action, and both men did everything to play up the stipulation. But man, I just couldn't get over the goofiness of the whole thing. This is a case of WWE just having to do some wacky stipulation instead of a more regular encounter. I'm gonna be positive and appreciate all the good spots Rey and Seth were able to perform, but I can't rate this match any higher with such a silly looking ending. Next, we had my most anticipated match of the show with Asuka vs Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title. And who would have thought it was the match of the night? Both women were completely on point with their moves, and their styles meshed brilliantly. It was by far the best in-ring action of the night, and a palate cleanser most people really needed after Rollins vs Mysterio. Unfortunately, WWE just had to overbook the ending with Bayley getting involved, the referee getting green misted, and Banks leaving with the belt. This could have been a match of the year candidate, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. Following that, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler faced off for the WWE title in half an Extreme Rules match, which was shockingly entertaining. Both men did an excellent job working with the stipulation, and it made Drew look amazing. Dolph's chances of winning may have been practically non-existent, but man did he work his ass off to demonstrate the contrary. In the end, Drew won in style, making this one of the highlights of the show. And finally, the horror show promised in the title arrived, with Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt's swamp fight. And it gets a meh for me. I could see what it was going for with a mix of the graveyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match, but I don't think it did a very good job emulating either. Among the most notable moments, Braun set a man on fire, there was an Alexa Bliss cameo, and the Fiend showed up at the end. Other than that, I think WWE should take a break from cinematic matches. Overall, this was a mostly enjoyable show, as long as you're willing to put up with some stupid booking decisions and the craziest / silliest side of professional wrestling. Definitely take a look at the tag team tables match McIntyre vs Ziggler, and Asuka vs Banks. Do you agree with my review of the horror show at Extreme Rules? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the show. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at Pommy Wrestling for any update. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, see ya!